Hi guys, it's Misty from the Book Rat, and it's time for the first book chat of 2012. We're going to be talking about our favorite reads from 2011. Note, these books don't have to be published in 2011, it's just what you read in 2011. I know myself well enough to know that I can't just do a top 3 or a top 5. So I was going to do a top 10, and then I was like, well, it was 2011, maybe I should do 11 books. But then I threw that out the window too, because frankly, there were more than 11 great books that I read in 2011, and they all deserve a mention. So I'm just going to do all of the books that I read in 2011 that I really liked and think that you guys might like. And they're in no particular order, and there are a lot of them, so I'm going to kind of try to go through them quickly. I'll start with the last one I read, and that was Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is a fairy tale retelling of Cinderella, and Cinder, the main character, is a cyborg mechanic. It's completely awesome. The review for this just went up on my blog today. Cinder's this great kick-ass heroine, and the take on the tale is really interesting. This one just came out January 3rd, so I'm guessing a lot of you probably haven't read it, and if that's the case, you should pick it up now. Paranormalcy by Kirsten White. This is actually the first book I read of the new year in 2011, and I was in a bit of a reading funk when I picked it up, and this was the perfect funk breaker. It's super fun. I love Kirsten White's writing. Evie, the main character, is hilarious, and if you're ever in a reading rut, this is the one to go for. Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. I don't think I really need to go into too much detail of this. It's a second book. I wouldn't have been reading it if I didn't absolutely love the first book. There was no sophomore slump here. It absolutely lived up to the amazingness that is The Name of the Wind. So if you haven't read the series, you should. Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This one was everywhere at the end of 2011. Everyone was singing its praises, and I'm absolutely going to do the same. Laini's writing is lyrical and beautiful. It's really well plotted. There were a couple slow spots, but even the slow spots were better than other books. This one's definitely worth the read. Anna Dressed in Blood by Ken Dare Blake. This one stands out to me as one of my favorites of the entire year, which is a little surprising, not because I didn't think I was going to like it, but because I wasn't expecting to get everything that I got out of it. Ken Dare's writing is really funny and witty, and I was expecting a good, gory ghost story, and I did get that. But I wasn't expecting, the romance and humor and the characterization and how much I would absolutely love Anna. So can't wait for Girl of Nightmares book 2, and definitely think you should pick this one up, even if you don't read horror stories. Star-Crossed by Elizabeth C. Bunce. I really loved the world building in this one, and Digger, the main character, is one of my favorites of the year. Bunce is just an excellent plotter to me, and I look forward to everything she does. I think she's a great author to watch. Breadcrumbs by Anne Ursu. This is another standout of the year for me. This is one of my absolute favorites, and definitely my favorite middle grade book that I read. It's a retelling of the Snow Queen, but it's not dependent on that story. It really stands on its own, and there's such a depth of understanding of human character and connections and emotions in it that you don't always get in any book, let alone a middle grade book. Absolutely stunning. Drink, Slay, Love by Sarah Beth Durst. This was another surprise one for me. I wasn't sure I was going to like it, but it's so super fun. Just like Paranormalcy, this is a great funk breaker. It's just tongue-in-cheek and silly, and there's a great sense of humor throughout the whole thing, and Pearl, the main character, is just delightful. Anya's Ghost by Vera Brosgol. This is one of my absolute favorite reads of 2011. It's a graphic novel, and the art is fantastic, on top of which it just has so much going for it that you don't get in a lot of mainstream books, let alone graphic novel. High Society and Uncommon Criminals, both by Allie Carter. I have never been a big contemporary reader. I've talked about that before. These both won me over. The main character is strong and smart, and I love that in any novel, let alone a contemporary teen novel. It's a really fun caper. It's got that whole vibe going, and it just worked for me. Everybody Sees the Ants by A.S. King. A.S. King never ceases to amaze me. She can take the most outlandish concepts like she did in Dust of 100 Dogs, which also makes the list, and she will make it seem completely realistic and turn it into something much bigger than you ever thought it was going to be and really get at the core of something. I think that it's a book that a lot of people can relate to. Robot Dreams by Sarah Barone. This is another graphic novel. Again, one of my favorite reads of the year, not just for graphic novels, but in general. It's very bittersweet. It's almost nearly wordless, but yet the story is never lacking as a result. It's very poignant, and I feel like I want to sit Sarah down and talk to her afterwards and be like, look, Sarah, you've got to give me more than this. But that shows how affecting the story is. The Space Between by Brenna Yovanoff. I don't own this one, so I can't show it to you, but Brenna always blows me away. She always has these very high-concept sci-fi stories that, in their weirdness and their outlandishness, really get to the core of what it is to be human and to love and to have connections. Her stories are just breathtaking, and I love them. Dust of 100 Dogs by A.S. King. I do own this one, but I couldn't find it at the moment, but this is one of the more weird concepts of the year that I read, and it never falters. There's never a moment where you're like, okay, this is just weird. It works. A.S. King takes something that is really out there and bizarre and very, very dark, and she makes you love it. The Near Witch by Victoria Schwab. I own this one too, but couldn't find it. This was a debut, and as such, blew me away. It's not necessarily a fairy tale retold, but it has this fairy tale quality to it. The writing is lyrical and beautiful and poetic, and when I reviewed it, I described it as a book that really does need to be read aloud. That's where the storyteller aspect comes in the beauty of the language and the sort of communal nature of storytelling, and it all just works, and I loved it. So those are some of my favorite reads of 2011. I hope you'll share yours with us by either doing your own vlog or blog post and linking them up so that we can all see and discuss these great books from the last year. Next week's book chat is going to be on reading resolutions, so what your goals are for 2012, what you're hoping to accomplish, and whether you make any reading resolutions. I look forward to another year of book chat and can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Happy reading!